A warm welcome to the History Show here on Uxbridge FM, and a very warm welcome to Ken Pearce, who of course is chairman of the Uxbridge Local History Society, with another history talk, today entitled Mass Murder at Denham. When you're ready, Ken.
Thank you. On the evening of the 22nd of May, 1870, a gruesome discovery was made. In a house in Cheapside Lane in Denham, the bodies of 7 members of a family were found, and all had been brutally murdered. They were Emmanuel Marshall, a blacksmith, his wife, 3 of their 4 children, and his wife's mother and sister. Well, of course, the local police constable was called and immediately realised that that was beyond his remit, and he contacted the Bucks Constabulary. A superintendent soon arrived, to be joined later by detectives from Scotland Yard, for this was a major crime. News of the dreadful events spread rapidly, and next day the story was headlines in every newspaper in the country. The bodies were in their night clothes, although the clothes were now torn and blood-stained. A poker, an axe, and a sledgehammer lay near the corpses. A set of blood-stained clothes were found, and a clothes drawer was left open, with an empty watch case nearby. Police inquiries revealed that a man had been seen leaving the cottage about 7 o'clock in the morning carrying a carpet bag. The lady who saw him thought at first it was Emmanuel Marshall himself, because his clothes resembled those who were normally worn by him. An hour later, another Denham resident was approached by a man who tried to sell him a watch. He refused the offer. Later, a man carrying a carpet bag entered a Denham pub and ordered a beer. He paid for it, but seemed unsettled and left without finishing his drink. The police began to search every alehouse, lodging house, and public house in the area. And they soon learned that a man had pawned a watch in an Uxbridge shop, and then began treating people with free drinks in a local pub, appearing to be flush with money. Another man realised that he'd seen that man the day before, but wearing different clothes, and he knew him as John Owen, who had told him he was going to get on a train to Reading. So the search then switched to Reading, the police being accompanied by the Uxbridge witness. Owen was found in a public house there called the Oxford Arms. He tried to pull a pistol, but was rapidly overpowered. And in his pocket was found a pawnbroker's ticket from the Uxbridge shop for a watch and some clothing. Owen was arrested and taken to Reading jail, where he was recognised as a former inmate. And it was discovered that he had worked for Emmanuel Marshall for some time previously, but that they had fallen out about money. And Owen left, threatening to return and kill him. The trial took place at the Buckinghamshire Assizes in Aylesbury, and John Owen was found guilty, sentenced to death, and hanged at Aylesbury Jail. The members of the Marshall family were buried in Denham churchyard, and a large inscribed stone, paid for by the local people, was placed over the grave. It can still be seen today. Curiosity brought crowds to Denham to see the house where the murders had taken place, and people actually began to steal things from the building as souvenirs. Nearby roads became congested with horse-drawn vehicles as visitors came to see the scene of the appalling crime. So the building was eventually demolished to stop these unseemly happenings. One of Marshall's children had been staying with family on that night and was the only survivor. She lived in Uxbridge for a few years, but sadly died young.
Wow, thanks, Ken. Huge crime in the area back in the 1800s there.
Oh, yeah, well, it was, national news, really.
Thanks for that. We've got another one coming up shortly.